Tutorials, and today what I want to focus on is talking about how to do our background research. So um, let's start by looking at the rubric, at what portion of the MYP rubric grades this section. So this is where we're describing a problem or a question to be tested by a scientific investigation. We need background information in order to understand this problem. And then actually that's going to feed into the next section down here where we need to explain our hypothesis using correct scientific reasoning. So that's kind of an important process that we're looking at here. So let's start out by looking at how we might do some background research on this particular topic. So the topic that I've chosen to look into is how well do plants grow under different light? So does how does the color of light affect plant growth? I mean, that's really what I'm looking at. And so that's what I want to investigate and find out some information about so that I can write my hypothesis and kind of describe what my problem and question are. So when I'm doing any research, I always want to kind of start with the library database because this is going to give me some good information to start with. So I go onto the TKS libraries, and I'm going to go to the Garden Secondary School and access the GSS database. And this Gale Science and Context is always a good one for me to pick. So that's the one I'm going to start by picking. So Gale Science and Context. And since this has to do with photosynthesis, I'm going to start with that. Photosynthesis, there it is, photosynthesis. And I kind of want to just look through and find anything about photosynthesis and color. So I don't know, melatonin doesn't look quite right to me. I'm just skimming here, and this is something that you should do too as you're going through, is you kind of have to look through and skim to see which of these things seems to help with anything that you're looking into. So as I was skimming through here, I noticed something about chlorophyll. Okay, so maybe let's have a look at that, or is there something else here that might be helpful? Chloroplast. So, oh, photosynthesis and light. Wow, okay, so that looks like it could be a winner right there. As I look through this, I see a video, and it's about photosynthesis and light. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm just going to read through very quickly. So if you've ever been out on an intense sunny day, blah, 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 you might want to watch the video. But I see towards the bottom, there's something here about this, and this is very important information for me. It's saying that pigments chlorophyll and A and chlorophyll B absorb the violet and blue and red. Oh, that's great. Okay. And then it's asking why do plants look green? And oh, okay, here's something about the green spectrum, right? The chlorophylls and this, they absorb light in the green part of the spectrum. So, okay, that's interesting. I'm going to use that. And so one of the things I'm going to do is get a citation. So I get my citation tool. I go to MLA7, and there's my citation already done. Okay, I can go to my lab guide. I'm going to scoot down here, and you can see I prepared this earlier. So here we go. I just pasted that in. Okay, and there's actually another citation that I found earlier on that same database. So let me just close this. I'm going to go back to that citation tool, and there was an experiment down here that looked kind of interesting for this. Oh, here we go, photosynthesis. So, or should I look at chlorophyll? Let's look at chlorophyll. Okay, so chlorophyll is a green pigment that they act like solar collectors, they trap sunlight, okay, and then they work on photosynthesis. So this gives us some ideas about photosynthesis um, as we scroll down. Okay, another experiment that I could have picked from, let me go back to that, and photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Looks like another experiment on the same page is right here, and photosynthesis. So this also looks like it was going to give us some information. Okay, so this could be another source that I use. And so right here it says, think of a plant like a solar collector. Chloroplasts have a green pigment called chlorophyll that traps light. We know that sunlight is actually a spectrum of many colors. So chlorophyll, it reflects the green part of the spectrum. So that would be important. Okay, so it looks like I found a little bit on that. Now, one of the things I also might do is do some searching on Google. Now, I know that indoor farms are something that's up and coming, and when I look at the colors of these indoor farms, like they have a certain color. They all look sort of pinkish, which tells me that they must be using some sort of pink light to grow things. So let's see if I can find an article that might help with that. So let's see, indoor vertical farm. So I'm going to click on this one. Now, I'm going to try and gauge the relevance of this and to see if it's a good source. So first things first, I'm looking at this person. It's in Habitat, and I've never heard of that website before, but I might just read through it anyways to see if there's anything that I see that's useful. Oh, pink houses use a mix of red and blue lights. So again, I'm confirming that. And now, oh, down here, look at this. There's researchers at Purdue University that are doing this. So it looks like they're getting some good research there. And then, oh, there's an NPR article about this. So if I go to my NPR article, future now NPR is definitely a good source because it's an org for one thing, and then it's also they are unbiased and they're not trying to sell anything. So they're talking about vertical farming, and if I keep scrolling down, I might be able to find some interesting information here. So it's talking again about a mix of blue and red LED, so that's important for my experiment. There's I'm just looking to see if I see any numbers. I'm kind of scanning for numbers. So 9-foot tall towers. Towers cut energy consumption by 75%. Oh, that's kind of big. LEDs are more efficient. Could growers forego the natural light? They grow 2.2 million plants. Okay, this is some sort of company. Ooh, this is some information here. We get almost 20% faster growth and save a lot of energy. Okay, so now that I have that information and I've done a little research that's going to take me into the right direction, what I'm going to do is start writing my background research. So this is an example of what I've done. I basically said plants need several things to grow. Firstly, they need light, CO2, and water. From this, they make glucose and oxygen. So basically, I'm describing photosynthesis here. I'm also connecting it to wavelengths. So light is made up of different wavelengths. This is called white light. White light includes red, orange, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Red light is the longest wavelength, and violet light is the shortest wavelength. Plants do not use all of the light they receive. Some of the light gets reflected off of their leaves and stems. This portion is the green part of the light spectrum. Plants use a green pigment to absorb light. This pigment is called chlorophyll. It turns out that plants absorb and use the red wavelengths and the violet wavelengths the most. Many vertical farms use LED lights that are red and violet. The mixture of this light looks pinkish in real life, and a vertical farm grows plants inside where they can be better controlled. The farmer uses pink lights to lower energy bills and promote healthier and faster growing plants. The pink lights offer an increase in efficiency of the farm, and pink lights increase plant growth by 20%. This saves money, time, and pollution. Okay, so I've done a little bit of describing my topic. So those are going to help me in my experiment to understand what's going on and be able to make a prediction. Now, I also would need to actually cite this source, particularly this one right here. So now it doesn't have that citation tool, I don't think. Let me just see if I see one on here somewhere. I don't see the citation here, but I'm just looking quickly. I don't see a citation, so I need to definitely make a citation. So here we go. I'm going to make a citation. So I'm going to use this, copying that, and I'm going to use my tool here, my EasyBib Manage Bibliography. This is a website, it looks like, and I'm going to paste the URL. And we're doing it in MLA, okay, and let's see what comes up. Okay, so here we go, select. Okay, and there's my citation right there, which I'm going to then put into my bibliography down here. So here we go. Okay. All right, so that's how I would go about doing some background research on this particular topic and answering that question. Thank you for watching.